Whatever we dwell on, we magnify. Whatever we dwell on, we blow it up to seem much bigger than it was originally. This is why ruminating, going over in your head, and the isolation of your own head over and over and over and about something, it destroys our perspective and it destroys our peace. The better question is always, how do I react when I am hurt? Am I charitable? We need to be very careful in how we attribute intentions to others. It's much better to check in with someone and see if our perceptions of their behavior and their intentions are accurate. In the spiritual sense, we're supposed to love God above all things and our neighbor as ourselves. Now, many people distort the second part of that passage and claim that they're righteous when they treat other people exactly how they would prefer to be treated. And no, they missed the boat on that one. I missed it in a huge way. We're supposed to seek to understand others and in such a way and live in such a way that we bring them no harm. That's the goal. If someone is your immediate neighbor, you don't do anything to harm them. That's a divine mandate, not a suggestion. April 8th. There can be great value in examining the past. It can offer information about the present, as well as clues that might help us make changes for a better future. For those of us who denied, distorted, or lost touch with painful memories, facing the reality of our past can be a critical part of our Al-Anon recovery. Fond memories must also be recognized if we hope to look back in a realistic way. Still, it is important to remember that the past is over. We are powerless over what has gone on before. Although we can take steps towards making amends, we cannot change the fact that we have harmed others. And we cannot change the fact that others have harmed us. We have only the power to change this present day. And the best use we can make of the past is to face it and then move on. We can certainly learn from all that we have experienced, but we mustn't let us hold us back from living here and now. Today's reminder: I will not get so bogged down in dealing with old wounds that I forget about new growth. And here's the quote: the past is but the beginning of a beginning. And that's H.G. Wells. So often people are overwhelmed when they begin to consider that they might be part of the problem when they have an addict in their lives. And then sometimes, we swing from these defensive postures where we're full of our own self-righteousness, we're just so much more wise. And, like a teenager, they know it all. They're too big for their britches. They do incredible damage to themselves and others, it's the classic full of themselves. So you go back and you realize just how chock full of yourself you are. And the tidal wave of shame and guilt can be overwhelming. I mean, someone may have died because of your poor choices. People can be trapped, in situations because of someone's, naysaying, arrogance, just, whew, it can be bad. So when we go back to acknowledge our part in whatever's went on bravely and courageously. We look very carefully. We take notes. We acknowledge what is our responsibility. We don't claim to be victims. And And we do so that we can make the present better. And we do so that we can be free from the bondage of guilt and remorse and shame, sadness, whatever we did back there. You got to put it to rest. It's not our mistakes aren't treasures we carry around, like a rotting carcass. You want to bury it. You want to put it to rest. You want to let it go. I hope you consider that this process is important at all times. And the goal is peace, so we can be at peace. If you have a higher power, it's there's such a peace to know that, I sin against God and God alone. And you make amends with God. And if you need to make amends with other people, you do that to the best of your ability. You can't force someone to forgive you. And you can't force someone to see the situation from the way you saw it, from your perspective. We all have a different perspective. So respect has to be the order of the hour among adults. I'm often so amused by people today. You send them an email, they don't reply. You send them a text, they don't reply. Well, no reply, no respect, no adult on the other end. They're always letting you know exactly how mature they are. So remember that every form of communication, the foundation for that is one of respect. And it goes both ways with parents and children. And no one has something over or has the dirt on someone. They just don't. And the road to reconciliation is a difficult one. It's a hard road. It is a high road. It is one that needs to be transacted with honesty. Otherwise, the shortcut ends up um, maintaining and perpetuating familial abuse. So I pray you look back there with the idea of being free and do the hard work, cleaning yourself up, cleaning your perspective up. Make amends if they won't talk to you. Okay. You're free. That's an interesting thing about estrangement when they won't talk to you. Well, they're maintaining their position of immaturity. So be free, live at peace, and try to transact business to the best of your ability from moment to moment each day. It's a beautiful thing. I pray the reading blesses you and that you find your way to genuine and abiding peace.